I have a warning for you today because something powerful is happening right now. The world is shifting. The energy really is shifting, and you are shifting because this week, the spring equinox cracked open a new season. Can you feel it? Can you feel the energy? Something in the air is shifting. A portal of possibility, renewal, and transformation. It's real. And while some people are just going through the motions, others are tapping into something ancient like our dear Ellen Irvine. I'm going to throw a little picture of Ellen right now. And Ellen is a master empowerment coach who stood this morning at 4 a.m. in the UK at Stonehenge. She jumped on a plane, flew from Canada. She was there to feel the pulse of the earth, the energy of thousands of years of wisdom surging through her. And she is going to be bringing it back to us next week, March 25th, when we start our Master Empowerment Coach Certification 2025. This isn't just about history, it's about you. It's about stepping into a new era of your life, one where you claim your power, you trust your knowing. There's a knowingness inside of you. It's not a thinking, it's not a believing, it's a knowing. And when you can just really begin to trust that and stop waiting for permission to rise, woo-hoo-hoo. So today we're not just talking about change, we're stepping into it. This is Simply Woman, and it starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome to Simply Woman. I'm Crystal Andrus Morissette, your host, and this is the place to be where we break free from fear, where we claim our power, and we step into the lives we were meant to live. And today we're talking about something big, the energy of new beginnings, because this is it. Like in the world, seasonally, this is the time, at least on this Western hemisphere. Because if you've been feeling stuck, if you've been circling the same old patterns, looping and looping and looping, this is your invitation to let that shit go and step into something greater. Last week, we had an incredible conversation with Leslie from Mexico, who cracked open something deep. And today we're checking back in to see what shifted since then. We're also going to be welcoming a brand new guest into the love seat. I don't know exactly what's about to unfold, but I know this is going to be powerful. But before we get to last week's guest, I actually want to circle right around to our very first podcast because we never did a check-in with Dorothy. So I'm going to welcome Dorothy back into the love seat for a few minutes for a quick check-in. Hey, Dorothy, I know it's been quite a few weeks now, but I am so happy you're back. You're looking just radiant.
Thank you.
How are you since our first podcast and our check-in?
I'm much better, much better. I actually listened to the podcast on YouTube once you published it, and it sort of put me into a cycle of, really getting in touch with where I truly was resonating and what came out of that conversation and recognizing, when we sat there and we scored, how much do I really want this business versus some of the other things like the happiness and the flexibility and all that. And of course, what came out of it was I realized there was some wounded parts of me that still needed some healing.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what it ended up doing? I started writing a book.
One of
I
the
literally started writing a book about my life and about some of the things that occurred. And the stuff just started to flow out of me like somebody turned on a tap. And I have to say, my mother always used to say that writing was a very therapeutic method of getting stuff out. And she was very right, very true. And it sort of made me do a complete shift. And I've been looking at things a little bit differently. And, the fact that we're on this spring equinox now, I woke up this morning and I thought, well, I don't have meetings and stuff planned today, but I'm going to get up and I'm going to put myself together and I'm going to show up on Crystal's podcast and it's all going to be good. And this afternoon, I've got all these strategic things for my business that I plan to do.
Yeah, that's so feminine flow. You listen to
Yeah.
your body, you did
Yes.
healing, heal thyself, healthy self. That's it. When I'm talking about healing, I'm really just talking about you know, looking inward at those stories, those limiting beliefs, the things we don't even realize our mind. And I think what's important that we all realize why all of us get stuck in loops, all of us, is that there is one part of the brain that gets really excited about that change. But there's an unconscious part of the brain that has a whole bunch of limiting beliefs to keep you in the familiarity of what you know. So you're having this conflicting thing going on in your own brain, and the body, your life will always show you what's actually going on in your brain. And
It's
so
so true.
it's so amazing that you just were able to like take the time to connect writing, brain, and body and feeling. And then as that clarity came, something in your energy, your spirit fired back up, and you're ready to rock and roll today. So that's how we women do it. We flow, we go inward, we listen, we write, we reflect, if we are in woman energy. So kudos to you. You sound like you're, listening to yourself and following your own flow.
I feel like because I recognized I was the one that was getting in my own way. It was really me.
We all are,
Yeah.
never anyone
And,
else.
but
Ladies,
the one
we need to
thing
hear
I will
that.
say,
Let's stay with that thought for one sec, Dorothy.
yeah.
It's always us getting in our own way. And even if it's someone else for sure that we're so certain, no, 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 it's my husband. We got in our own way to allow the thing to get in the way. We got in our own way. And when we start getting out of our own way, it's amazing how every relationship in our life changes, even if nothing about them changed. This is empowerment. When you
Yeah.
change the way you look at things, they energetically change. So back
Yeah.
to you, Dorothy. And I love that you're writing a book because, ladies, this is what I will tell every single woman. Whether in the end you publish the book or not, the most cathartic healing thing you'll ever do for yourself is write your own story, own your story, grieve those parts, cry over parts, laugh over parts, tell all the parts. Own yourself, the good, the bad, the ugly. And one day you might say, I never need to share this, but holy, the wisdom, and I'll share that story because that's going to be so relevant to but all of that was necessary for the healing. And that's really, I think a lot of women wonder when they're coming into MEC, like, what do I get out of it? Such a huge part is writing. It's not about the assignments to like nail the assignments to get them right. It's almost like I really want to say to the ladies, what if I were to tell you I'll never read any assignment unless you tell me to? Would that empower you to get them all done? Because it's just for you. Those assignments are all designed for you, for your healing, for your learning, but you're doing it right now, Dorothy, intuitively already on your own because you've gone through PAC. You're already in the strategic mode and you're doing your own work. So kudos again to you. Any last thought you just want to share before we jump over to Leslie?
I will just say one of the things that did come up for me, and again, this is true to who I am as a person. If someone said to me at any point in time, you can't do this, my retort to that was, you just watch me. And I'm still that woman, and I
Of
think
course
I'll
you are.
always be that woman.
And you
So
were
here
her
we
when
are.
you were 10.
Absolutely was.
You were her when you were 10, and you were her
Yeah.
when you were 20, and you were her when you were 30. And if you were to actually go back to journals, all of those years, the spirit of who you are has never changed. So the more that we can just accept that, accept ourselves, surrender to ourselves, love ourselves in spite of some of the things we've been taught are 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 limiting us, that level of acceptance just alone frees up more space. Thank you, Dorothy.
Thank you.
All right, let's get into it. If you were with us last week, you witnessed something profound. Leslie from Mexico had a major breakthrough, and today we get to check back in because here's the truth. I say it every week. Transformation is not about a single moment. Listening to Dorothy, it's what happens after the session. It's what happens after the moment. It's about whether you take what you've learned and integrate it, embody it, write, reflect, look at the way you're seeing things. So let's welcome back Leslie and hear what's unfolded in the past week. Hey, Leslie, how are you since last week?
Hi, Crystal. I'm super happy. I'm amazing, wonderful, amazing again.
Wow. And Leslie has
Yes.
the best voice. Okay. I listened to the podcast from last week and I was literally like, I need to put my mouth right on this mic when I'm talking because Leslie's voice was so clear and powerful that I actually had to ask her, what kind of microphone do you use? It really sounds good.
Yeah.
So Leslie, talk to me about what came up for you after the conversation.
After the conversation I have so many breakthroughs. I circle back to the past. I talk to myself. Well, I do this. I talk to myself in different versions. So the old Leslie, the new Leslie, the actual Leslie, the future Leslie. So I have so many Leslies going on. So I talk to myself in different ways and I talk to the other Leslie, what happened, what's going on, why you show up, we were okay, what's going on. And I mean, I know that some people write it, but I like to talk. I am a talker. So I talk to her and I get the conclusion that it was something that I was afraid of losing everything that I have beside my job because it was that hard time that I passed a long time ago. It was depression. It was so many things that I didn't close or my subconscious was bringing together with the job loss. So
You were really connecting it. You were realizing this
yeah.
was an old fear that who will I be? And what if I lose everything? And what if I like literally, was it like all the way to the fear of like, what if I'm going to lose my house? Like, were you going into that fear state?
Yes, I was like losing even my husband because at that time back then when I lost my job I didn't have or my boyfriend left me and my parents were really worried about me. I mean it was a messy
Time
time.
in your life. So what you came to the conclusion was you'd lost your job and it was like really, really took its hit on your self-esteem. And as we dug deeper, we saw that there was a time in your life many, many years ago before you were even married that you lost a
Yeah.
job, you fell into a depression, you got really afraid. Your father impressed upon you never depend on a man. You have to be independent. And when you lost your job last year, even though you've been married for 23 years, am I remembering 23?
Yes, correct.
You just celebrated an anniversary in the last
Yes.
week. And I said, but what if it's okay to lean on your husband? Like, what if it's okay and it's your time? Like, it's okay to lean on him now. And we get to be interdependent, you know? Like, I know all of us that listen to Beyonce, independent woman. I'm still in shock that Charlie's Angels was 20 years ago. Come on. I still listen to
Yeah.
that. I still run along going, and I can buy my own rings. Then I go,
Yeah.
where did that get me? Yeah, that was good. I learned how to buy all my own rings. Do you see these shoes? I bought these shoes. I'm wearing them. And then suddenly we were all like 50 and going, it would be nice to share. And it would be nice to know that I can do it and I have done it, but it's okay to receive and really let myself receive support and let myself take this time for healing, heal thyself, slowing down, reflecting, leaning into my body, listening to my emotions and feelings, doing some deep healing. So, for this second chapter, I say it like that, second act, you're going to be your most powerful, heal, whole self with all of these different parts.
Exactly, exactly. And I get inspired. I get a lot of energy right now. So I'm ready for the next thing for me. So here I am.
You way to go, Leslie. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Thank
coming
you.
back. Thanks for bringing your energy. And ladies, I want to say this, we don't always have to be amazing either. Like empowerment doesn't always mean that we're all bouncing off the walls and we are amazing. Sometimes the most empowering thing is that just letting go and accepting where we're at and letting us almost be still in the what next place too, So thank you, Leslie.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Crystal.
Wow. Well, this is what it means to stay in the work, to choose yourself, to keep choosing yourself, to keep rising. And it's not easy. But it's time now for a new conversation. And our next guest is Siobhan. And Siobhan is here because she's feeling something many of us have felt. And I write these things, but the truth is, I don't even fully know what Siobhan is here to share. But I have a funny feeling there is a pull between who she was and who she's becoming and stepping into the unknown. But one thing I do know is Siobhan's in the right place. We all are. So let's dive in. Hey, Siobhan, I'm so excited. You're here with us today. Tell me what's going on for you.
Money, money. I've always had a money wound and struggled with it. And I'm in a transition in my life right now where I'm trying to phase out of my career that I found myself in, which was always meant to be something temporary. But I find that I enjoy it enough that it's hard to leave. And it's very easy to look around and not be happy where I am financially, even though I should feel gratitude for it because I have done well for myself along with my husband, and we really have nothing to worry about yet. I just don't. I always worry about it. We don't go on as many holidays as I wish we could, and I am an entrepreneur, and so I don't have pension or anything like that, and so we have to save for me. And it's always on my mind that I'm not going to be able to even have a standard of living that I even have right now, which isn't overwhelming, right? And so it always just cycles in my head, right? It's up in here. And as I'm going through a transition, I just feel that I've opened myself up to abundance since the fall, which has been very liberating for me, and forming community and getting actively involved in the community. I'm a volunteer. And so I feel that the abundance is there and people are recognizing me and seeing me. And I've been offered like 5 different jobs in the last like 5 weeks, which is so amazing, but they're all jobs that don't pay enough.
Okay. Thank you. That was great. Thank you for just like letting that free flow go. Like you just brought us through. And what was amazing for me is I got to experience a full range of emotions right in there. Like I got to feel it all. I got to feel like how full all the emotions are going on inside of you and how you really are able to tap into like many different things all at once. So first of all, let's all we remember that. Like sometimes we think we're this, well, we're this and this and this and that. And you could hear Siobhan being, I'm grateful and I feel guilty and I have fear and I know I'm fine and I have everything I need and I have an old wound and there's just a lot going on in there. So that tells me this is a thinker. This woman is a thinker and she is up in her brain thinking, thinking. And that stinking thinking will make us cuckoo, right? Because I'm a thinker too. So I would say the first thing is, Siobhan, is can you say to yourself, I accept that I am a thinker?
I accept that I am a thinker.
She has a smile on her face. Like that really felt like truth. And she actually giggled at it. Oh, I'm just a scientist. Oh. So my scientific brain is looking at all angles at all times, wanting to experience the full range of emotions. Every thought is pinging off at all times. And now that I recognize that I have the power to think many different thoughts all at once, because that's how brilliant I am. I'm being you right now.
Okay.
If I could really practice mindfulness, I could probably lock in on one of or two of those energy fields that feel so good inside my body. And I imagine if I could use that brain that I've used for so many other things to really get intentional about what I want to manifest that could be really exciting for you.
Mm-hmm.
Can you accept that you do have the ability to choose which place you're going to put your energy?
Yes.
Can you accept that you have the ability to actually even decide how you want to feel?
That one's harder for me to say.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's stay with that one right now. So, share what part of that you realize I don't really feel comfortable knowing that I have the ability to set the channel with all those different thoughts. And I
I
do want
guess
to point something out. I'm going to point something out that other women might notice. I'm not bringing Siobhan down into her body yet. We're going there. As she's
Yeah.
such a thinker and she's so scientific. I know Siobhan. She's becoming one of our master empowerment coaches, and she just graduated from our personal empowerment certification. Did extraordinary. I already know she's a thinker. I know I pick up on that thought process because I have a lot of that myself. So I recognize a kindred spirit who's a writer and a thinker, and how you could go with any thought. You could probably like create something brilliant out of any one of those different thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So if I told you that I have learned that we can control through acceptance where we will resonate and it can change everything for us, would you be open to that possibility?
Yes.
What comes up for you when I share that, when I say it in that way for you?
I guess I still feel constraint
Yeah.
just in that there's all these demands on me, and I have made choices in my life that have impacted where I am right now. And they've never been wrong, but it's just life is a series of choices. And so I am where I am because of the decisions that I've made. And I feel that they can control me more because, I have 4 children. I'm busy. I've said yes to all these things, and a lot of them are extended. Like I'm basically booked in my job until, what, the summertime kind of deal, right? And so I'm in this situation because of the choices that I've made, and I need to take ownership for that.
Okay. So I'm going to just tell you a little bit about what I'm feeling, and then we can drop into your body and see if it feels like I'm feeling, and I'm going to say this like I always say everything with love, but I say this with love because I'm feeling like, boy, you're hard on yourself. So when I say that to you, it feels like I made my bed, I better lay in it. Like it's an energy that's very Mennonite. Like it feels very Mennonite. Like, and it's very like Scottish, like I came from. Like my grandparents would have said to my mother, like, you got pregnant at 17, you made your bed, you lay in it. Like, so you made that choice. You got 4 kids. You better
Mm-hmm.
hunker down and take that job seriously. So there's a real element of like, I'm feeling like there's a lot of like, I made decisions. Now, the other thing I'm hearing you say is, but since the fall, I'm recognizing and realizing that something's changing inside of me because something is changing. Tell me about that. So since the fall, and I want to point, and the reason I'm just slowing this line of thinking down a little bit is just to, in a moment, remind you that the outer world is a bit of a lag time from the mental world. So body always follows mind, outer world always follows body, but mind is always at the core of everything. So
Okay.
what's beginning to show up in your outer world, there's a bit of lag time. Like ladies, sometimes, man, we can manifest like fast once we're up there. Like once we're now in it and we're like in flow and we know exactly who we are. We know the vibe we need to stay in. We want to stay in. Why would we even get out of that? Why would we allow blocks in our happiness? Why would we allow that way of thinking? But we haven't trained ourselves. We've never learned it. Nobody's ever shown it. We've never been witnessed it. We've never seen a soul do it. So we're really going on like magic wand shit. And it takes a lot of courage to trust in the magic wand of empowerment and energy shifting your entire life. So tell me that something changed for you in the fall and it's beginning to catch up, but it's not quite up to speed.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've done a lot of personal healing. I'm up here from where I was before. And part of my healing was knowing that I can take up space and that I don't need to stay little anymore. And staying at home doesn't help. And we all need community. And so I have branched out into really going into town because I live on a rural property. And um, realizing that I am more than what I currently am, like in my career and in who I am, so that I'm on boards and I am empowering youth and working with children to empower them in the kitchen, right? So I teach kids in the kitchen too. And I guess I figured out that I am a guide for people in this world, and I can offer them a gift if they choose to accept it. And that is my purpose, is to bring community and connection to people, because that is really lacking in the world right now.
Well, listen, if this doesn't sound like this woman's getting some clarity, I don't know what to say here. Like, we are moving in the right direction. Like, not only have you turned the Titanic, which I don't even know if you were on the Titanic, but if it felt like that at one point, because that's just the terminology I've used in my own life, you're getting a lot of clarity. So now I'm hearing you say, I am where I am because of the decisions I made in my life. And holy, it sounded like there was a lot of guilt in there. Like, it really did feel like a lot. So I have guilt story too. So I accept that I have guilt. I have guilt that I made myself smaller than I really wanted to be. I have guilt that on some level I want more than just being the mom in the country. I am trying to make peace with like stories and like what I learned. And like, I have guilt that I'm busting through. Like, we don't know all this, by the way. Like, it takes like incredible amounts of self-reflection to actually really understand the energy of guilt, because you're also so high resonating that you have so much passion and love and like purpose, and like this clarity is clicking through. So it's like we're removing the outside of the onion, and now that's been done. And you've peeled the onion, and now the brown, the outside, that edges come off, and that edges come off. And so each edge that you're kind of shedding, like the clay Buddha, there's more coming off and there's more coming off. And I'm hearing a different loop than the loop that I've talked about with other women. So I'm going to introduce another loop for you today. And I'm going to call your loop. I'm going to give everybody a loop. Everybody's going to have their own. I feel like you are maybe a little bit stuck in desire up to reason. I feel like you're very reasonable, and you have a mind that the body can only reach in terms of empowerment, in terms of consciousness, the body alone, to have the courage to push through, to face ourselves, like that takes a lot of courage. And in body alone, just doing the work physically and like all of that stuff we want to do to heal ourselves physically, we can reach about 200 in the map of consciousness. But when we can like integrate and get the mind aligned with the body, we're hitting about 400 where you're at. That's why your brain is like moving so fast. So you're up here in this reason, but you're looping down and hitting desire. And in that desire, there's this wanting. And in that wanting, there's this frustration of, I know what I'm really meant to be up here. Like, because when I hear you say I'm meant to guide people, I am a guide. I offer a gift. There's certainty in the way that you say that.
Yes, it feels good to say that, to realize that.
I could feel it. Like it's so strong off of you. Like there's a very strong, very intelligent, very confident, very capable woman sitting in front of me. And she knows exactly who she is. So I'm honoring that. So I think what's happening for you, I feel like it, your fault, you're getting yourself up there and you're like, yeah, I know I'm a guide. I know I'm meant for more. I know I'm bringing community together and I want it now. I love the
Yes.
smile. Like I want it right now. I wanted it yesterday. And the minute I realized I wanted it, I'm now locking in on that. But in the energy of desire, you're live on a rural land in Canada. And do you guys not plant food and stuff in the ground? Don't you have a
Yep.
farm on some level of, I don't know,
Well, we have an
hobby
acreage, so
farm?
I have a
You
garden.
have a garden.
Mhm.
So you understand that desire resonates at planting the seeds. It really does. That is actually the equivalent of the planting of the seeds. So spring is the growing now. And that desire was back in the fall. You planted seeds that were going to sprout in the spring. And you did it. And that was your desire. You put them in the ground. So what's I think happening for you is you're so trusting this process and believing it actually and wanting it, but that wanting is kind of pulling you back down. And then you're getting caught, I could be wrong, in the comparison, and I also heard you say, and I love this, I am more than who I currently am. I
Yeah.
am more than who I currently am. So I want to say this. We all are, but very few of us have the courage to outwardly just say that to the world. Like I know I am way more than I've been living. And we all are. But you're so recognizing it, and it's very reasonable the way it comes out of your mouth. It's very matter of fact. There's a real knowingness about that. So I am way more than who I currently am. And I feel like if you could accept that, like really even just lean into that feeling of like, I really accept that I am more than I've been living. Can you say that?
I accept more than I have been living.
I accept that I am more than I currently have been.
I accept that I am more than I've currently been.
I accept that it frustrates me.
Yes, laugh of truth right there. I accept that it frustrates me.
Yeah, because you're hitting anger, like you're dropping down
Hmm.
to desire and anger.
Yes.
And I don't get the sense that you even want to go lower. Like you're like, fuck that shit. I am not going down into guilt, but it is there. It is there. And the reason I say it like that, not because of judgment, but because you have 4 kids. And I think it's almost virtually impossible to be a mother in this world with small kids because your kids are quite young still.
Hmm.
And we want, I don't want to say this in a way that like there's some kind of like we want it all. So does your husband. Your husband wants it all. Your husband wants to be a dad and be a husband and be a father and be the thing and have his education and be smart and have land and have partner and have sex and have like everything that a man would want. Your really smart brain wants to. And I've heard you say like I should have gratitude. I know we have nothing to worry about. Um, I want to phase out of my career. But then I also heard you say, but I enjoy it enough to not leave. So I would also say, what's wrong with that? Like, I'm just asking that question, like, not with judgment, but just like, what's wrong with that to say, I had to transition. I transitioned out of jobs to slowly to not have to ever go into a place, a brick and mortar. But it took time to transition. And I will say this, and I know I throw around numbers sometimes that are shocking. I was probably transitioning and leaving a job that I was making about $20,000 a month because I enjoyed it enough to not leave it, but it's not where I wanted to be. So it's not about money. It's that sometimes you're like, I'm transitioning, and there's still the fear of like, will that new thing really provide enough money to fully let go of this thing? And this thing still gives me some joy. It's getting me out of the house. I'm being around people. I get to be a teacher. I get to practice my empowerment coaching. It's making some money. So just walk that through for me, why that causes you frustration.
I think it goes back to my scientist brain where like, cause I teach driver's education and I have been doing it for almost 7 years and I've perfected it where, I can see what the issue is and we can, concentrate on getting that done. And I just, I just feel that I'm more than left and right turns.
Yeah, you are. But I also want to say this is that time that you're in the car with that person, and I don't know the price tag that goes on that, but that is the scientist and teacher that's in that car. Like you're perfected it. You've perfected right and left turns. It's not right and left turns, it's confidence. It's that you're instilling confidence in a new driver, whether that new driver is 50-year-old woman that's an immigrant to the country, or whether it's a 16-year-old kid that's learning how to drive. That's a sacred job. Like,
yeah, I agree.
the way that you really do treat it. And to have an hour in a car with somebody and you could bring the most magnificent energy into that exchange and you could leave it really. And I would also say this, I'm just throwing this out there. I'm just getting you thinking. I'm not even telling you to ever, I'm not telling you to stay with it even for one more day, by the way, but I'm just saying, I don't know why this just popped into my head, but I remember like, I don't, and you might go, Crystal, why are you telling me this story? But I'm just going to tell it. Siobhan, just go with me. I worked with a company that did cleaning people's houses, and they trained women. They wanted them all to clean houses in a certain way. And they really wanted it down to a science. If you wash it, you shine it. If you do, nothing gets left without being dried. Like everything that gets, anyways, they brought me in. They wanted to create a system that could be, so we literally filmed how to wash every damn thing in a house and how to make it shine, from light bulbs. I didn't even know people did that. Then I was like, oh, wow, we do wash chandeliers and we wash every light bulb. I didn't know that. Oh, I didn't know the shit that I don't have cleaned in my house. But watching these people, with the way they took such pride in the way they wanted their business run, I realized when someone comes in and cleans your house, that's like sacred. And like, you're so damn blessed. Like, you've just had someone come into your space, bring their energy into your home, in your bedroom, making your bed, or whatever it is she's doing. And what if we change the way that we saw that and we honored that woman and what she does? So I do just want to remind you that even though this is a transition, and you might be feeling there's a part of your ego and your brilliance and your brain that says, I'm too smart for this shit. Like, I have too much to offer the world right now. However, this was a temporary, you said it. I transitioned. I have a money wound. I've had a money wound my whole life. I should feel grateful. There's just a lot in there. I know I have nothing to worry about. There just feels like there's a lot tied to your identity. It just feels like for me, there's a lot that's just tied around your identity right now. Like, who are you as a woman? What lands for you? Who are you as a woman, Siobhan?
I've actually written a couple blog posts about that because I think it just comes down to I am many, many identities, like as it Leslie was saying, right? We're all, I kind of akin it as a jumble of identities that are all intermeshed and we kind of pull them out as we need them. And I still struggle, with who I am, but there's that society pull to just have one label, right?
Jackie,
And
so what if you were to say, with 2 feet on the floor, I accept that I'm still struggling with that societal pull that's on me, who I am, what my identity is. Like there's something around there that I think a lot of women, like you're not sharing something that we don't all relate to and connect with, but you're sharing something that I think is really deep and complex and layered for a lot of us. And I'm really actually grateful that you just paused before you went, I am all things and I'm just in it. And then you went, and I don't even really know. Because I think some of us are just so quick to be like, and I am this, and I am the wind, and I am the sunshine, and I am everything, and I am in it all. And you are, and it's great. But who am I if it didn't make me a bad mother, woman, nothing? Who am I if I didn't have to think about what made me happy in 10 years from now? Like, what would make me happy if I didn't have children to worry about, if I didn't have a farm or acreage, if I didn't have a husband, if it were just me? And it's not. So we don't have to actually make any decision. But I'm learning to ask myself these questions, Siobhan, and I'm turning 55. And I've asked these questions my whole life since I was 10. So it's a layered thing. It doesn't go away. You ask the questions and you're digging deep. And I think underneath all of this is like what it really, what it came down to, well, if we circled right back to the beginning, is money. That's how you started this. What do you want to talk about? Money. So what if money was just one expression of the stories and beliefs that we're carrying underneath? And money is one way that it expresses us to show us what we believe, maybe subconsciously, what's under who we are, not who we really are, but the conflicting programming going on in there. We all have programming, every single human being. So when the programming no longer is working for us and we realize, oh, there's conflicting programming, then you recognize that your brain is a computer. And I love her smile that she just gets it so quick. Like, I can change the programming. I had a certain program that I installed at a certain age, and for a while it worked until I realized it wasn't working. And then I kind of really worked hard to make it work. Because, like, I think changing the programming, we're all scared to do that. What would that mean? But then finally, each one of us had the moment of like, what if I were willing to consider the possibility that I do have some limited programming? And what could that mean for you if you could accept that you have some limited programming that you are ready to break free of?
Yeah, I think I've been ready for it for a while and I just don't know how to do it.
Okay, so why don't we do this together? Why don't we put 2 feet on the ground? And all of us, we can do this together. Those of you that know me know Krista likes to, even though she's sitting on a big ball right now and she's in a dress, I'm going to pull everything out and just let myself get really grounded in my own body. And we can just all do this together if you feel comfortable, just to close your eyes and let your shoulders just relax, let your hands relax. And it's hard at first to get out of the busy brain. When we think meditating, we're up in our brains, even trying to still the thoughts. Let's just get out of the brain. And let's imagine, and you've got such a brain and you've got so many pathways that are just firing. So you can see that. Like, see yourself up in there. See all of these. Wow, there's neurons firing and synaptic pathways and connector sites and all this stuff going on. And there it is, a little tiny you watching it all in awe. And you walk over to the elevator that's on the wall and the doors open and you go inside and you close the doors and it gets really quiet. You just sit for a minute in the quiet elevator. And then you press the down button. And let's just let it drop down, down, down to the 4th floor, to the bridge between your lower levels of consciousness where all that reason and brilliance. And we're just going to let it lower down, down, down through your intuition, Just keep letting it drop down through your throat chakra, where your voice, you just want to express yourself. Your throat is aching to be heard, but we're just going to keep dropping down, letting yourself drop. The elevator just keeps sliding down all the way past your collarbones, and it's dropping down into the center of your chest. And the doors open up, and there's the most magical green garden. It's not winter there. It's beautiful. And there is the most beautiful flowers. This sacred garden is yours inside of you, Siobhan, and outside of all of us. And it looks however is most beautiful to you. Let yourself be there. And if your elevator wants to go back up, just get back, lower it back down, and come back in the garden. Stay with my voice. And just seeing all the flowers, be barefoot on the earth. Breathe in the atmosphere. Is it sunny? Is it rainy? What's going on? Be in that energy of your body. Let your shoulders drop down from your ears and really breathe in all that love inside of you. Fill your lungs up with all of that love, the sacred scents, the smells of the flowers, the earth, the abundance, the sun shining on you. This beautiful, magnificent garden. Breathing into it. Feeling grounded and safe. And just in that calm place, let's imagine that we're going to walk over to your heart, and it's right in there in the garden. And your heart is this beautiful, magnificent, bright light. See if you can find it. And your heart is connected to this omnipotent ocean of love. And maybe your heart is so open and beating and flowing and free, but maybe right now your heart has been hurt or it's a little bit scared. So check in with your heart and ask it how it's doing. Siobhan, what does your heart say to you right now?
I think it needs a hug.
I feel it needs a hug. Can you see maybe your heart's been hidden behind a big wooden cabinet? Does that feel like it might be accurate? What does your
I think it brings up that weight of the world on my shoulders that I thought was gone.
Yeah, that's okay. Stay there. Let's imagine that you have been so brilliant that you didn't even realize it, but you took your magnificent, big, bright, white light heart that's connected to this omnipotent ocean of holy love. And just let's imagine in your brilliant safety that you put your heart inside a big wooden cabinet. It's over there in the garden. And the cabinet has a padlock on the outside of it. And let's walk over to the big cabinet and let's reach inside your pocket and pull out the key, and let's do it together. Let's slide the key in and turn the padlock and then pull the padlock off and just drop it to the ground, and then get ready, because inside there's a lot of magnificence. Holy jumping, there's a lot of light waiting. Get ready. Are you ready? Let's open the doors. Wow. So beautiful. Look at that. Woo, holy, holy light. Let's take the cabinet and let's just take your heart right out of the cabinet and give it a big hug. Oh my God, the white light just coming, radiating from that ocean of love. There's just unlimited amounts of love and light in that heart that's been waiting for you. Ask your heart what it needs from you.
Expression, to be able to just be itself, just to be.
Yeah. And what does your heart want you to know? The you that had thought you had to put your heart in a cabinet.
Safety, and that I am allowed to shine.
Yeah. And what do you want to tell your heart? like the part of you that was just protecting it. Like you weren't doing it forever, permanently. You were just doing it for a period of time to keep your heart safe. So, what do you want to tell your heart now?
That I don't need to pretend to be somebody that I'm not, and I don't need to be small, and I can go shine because that is that's my purpose.
Your birthright.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't even imagine telling your children, we're going to take you and put you in wooden cabinets and lock you in there. You would
Mm-hmm.
never dream of doing that. So, I don't even think that wooden cabinet belongs in your garden. It doesn't even make sense that it's there to me. Why don't we just dissolve the cabinet? Like just magically, like watch it dissolve from the ground up. Like it just, are you still there? Are you
Mm-hmm.
feeling it? The cabinet is gone, and now there's you. So now with your beating open heart, come back in your body, Siobhan. All of us stay in your body, come back in your body. All of us, your heart is open. Let's imagine that that heart is connected to an energetic cord that is connected to this divine ocean of love that's just above you. This big, huge, holy, heavenly, omnipotent energy. And let's, Siobhan, open up the faucet. Just for now in your body. Just start opening the faucet. Let the water, let the holiness, let the healing, let it begin to anoint you, flow through you. Start to let it feel like white light coming in and wrapping around any place that hurts, traveling all the way down into your pelvic floor, filling your entire body, your whole from your neck down to your pelvic floor, just white light, moving, swirling, healing, wrapping around places that need hugs, parts of you that need hugs, going all the way down into the basement and just blasting it with bright light, healing, anointing. And let that white light continue to just drop down your legs and anoint Mother Earth underneath you in your garden. And all the flowers start growing more beautifully and abundantly. And more life is coming just around you, is just vibrantly coming to life. Flowers are popping up everywhere. And in the distance, you see a fountain. And we're going to begin to walk towards that fountain, Siobhan. And each step you take, little flowers appear beside your feet, like they're coming to life inside of you, Mother Earth. Like there's so much abundance in there. And you're going to walk all the way over to that fountain, and the water is flowing. It's magnificent. And over on one side of the fountain, you didn't even realize she was there, but there's a little girl, and she's about 4 years old, and she looks just like you. And she's playing in the fountain, and she's little. She's you when you were about 4 years old. See her in the fountain, how precious she is, how cute she is. Can you see her? But she's also lonely. She's been wanting to play. Let yourself go over to this little version of you that has been expected to be so studious and serious and smart. And she's covered in water. And she's flicking it and throwing it everywhere. And go over to her and scoop her up into your arms, all soaking wet, and get yourself all soaking wet with her and hug her and ask her what she needs from you, this little 4-year-old inside of you. What does she need from you, Siobhan? What does that little girl inside of you need from you?
That I'm seeing it as that she is giving me the gift of not being so hard on myself.
Yeah.
And she's just there, and she's in her playfulness and she's soaking wet her hairs and she's just like happy.
Yeah,
And
she's so
she's just saying,
happy.
Mom, look at me. Like, come be
Yes.
here with me.
Yes.
That's what I'm feeling. So
And I'm going to tell you something. Did she just say, Mom? Mom? That's not you, by the way. She's not calling out to you. She's calling out to your mother energy. Because on the other side of the fountain, there's an older version of you. And Siobhan, she has a job to do, and that's to take care of that little girl. But you can't be doing that job anymore. You have so much creative expression. You have so much money to make. You have so much living and writing and building and creating to do that little girl inside of you really needs to like set you free, but you have to let her know that she's safe and you've got mother energy. That's Mom, by the way, not Siobhan. So we're going to let the mom inside of you finally have a job to do. And what are we going to do with Mom and little you? What are they going to do together, Siobhan?
I don't know.
I
It's
think
here. I can't.
breathe into it, breathe into it, breathe into it, breathe into it. What's going on in your throat? What's happening in your throat right now? Breathe into it. It's okay to cry. It's okay to cry, you know. It's so healing. Yeah, it's so good. It's okay. It's so like, it's good. It's good. Cracking open. The blue that's right around your head, right around you, behind you, is the water flowing. Is your throat flowing? Stay in your body. I accept that my throat feels really tight right now. Can you say that?
Except that my throat feels really tight.
Tell me more about what's going on in your throat. Just all the physical things, nothing emotional, just the physical things you're feeling.
It's like clenching, and then it's almost like there's spasms coming up my
I
tongue.
accept that my throat is clenching. Let's do this right now. Stay with it. I accept that my throat is clenching. Oh, I
I
can.
accept that my throat is clenching.
And I'm going to give more energy to just accepting the clenching. It's getting clenching, and I can feel stuff coming up from my belly. There's an energy rising up. It's really wanting to keep moving through me. I accept that my throat is, keep saying it. I accept what?
I accept that I need to release
No,
the energy.
we're going to do this, Siobhan. I accept the energy. I accept the block. I accept this block right now in my throat. Breathe into that.
I accept the block that's in my throat.
Tell me more about it. I accept that it feels
Constricting.
tight. I accept and I surrender to this constricting. This surrender and this constricting is trying to show me something where I have a block. I accept that my throat really wants to be free. Can you say that?
I accept that my throat wants to be free.
I accept that it's showing me where there's a block.
I accept that it's showing me where there's a
I accept and surrender to this block.
I accept and surrender to this block.
What's coming up for you?
There's relief.
Yeah. I can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And in that relief, I accept that it's there, and I accept that it's changing, and I accept that I'm becoming more creative, and I accept that I have like such high levels of consciousness that I get really frustrated because I don't ever want to be anywhere than up swirling around in the clouds with all the geniuses.
Mm-hmm.
There's the truth. And so your block is through heart chakra into throat. That's just all it is right now, is like your heart is, you have so much, and you have so much energy up here. You have so much energy up here that just having more compassion with yourself would open this up more. to just let more of that come out. Breathe into that.
I am enough. I am enough.
Girl, you are more than enough. So many women are going to learn from you, just this. And it's so like someone might say, well, what did you actually do? But what do you feel?
Relief in that I am where I need to be, and I'm doing it. I'm doing the thing that makes me happy, and it will all settle where it needs to be.
It will settle exactly where you want it to be. And where it needs to be is happiness. It doesn't need to be anywhere other than happiness, you know. Like there's no other need. Like there's no need anymore, Siobhan, for you to prove yourself.
It's a self-inflicted need, I guess, right?
So
yeah.
Just keep checking that, because that's just pride. That's just pride. And it's really hard to accept and surrender to our pride. Like you have a lot of pride. Like I'm really smart and I have a lot to do and I want to do more than just do driver's training. And there was a time where I don't want to put this down, but I was a personal trainer and I was so freaking smart. I could have been a doctor, and I'm in a gym helping women lose weight and I should be a doctor, but I'm doing really important work with these women in this gym. And that work led to this work. So your driver's ed is practice in coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Every day that you're in a car with someone, you're coaching that woman. So thank you. And just keep accepting that you have stories, we all do, and wounds that we all do, and things we want to shine light on. And the only way to change something is to accept it. Energetically, Siobhan. Energetically. Let the scientist in you recognize that. You cannot energetically change anything until you accept it. Because reason resonates right above acceptance. And love, you can't love yourself until you accept yourself. And you're so damn reasonable that you're so close to just love. And that's a hard one for people to understand. When you're so intelligent, people don't realize you're so loving too.
Mm-hmm.
You got a lot of love to share. So I hope that helped today. And I would love if you would come back in a week from now and do a check-in. And no one's promising miracles overnight, but relief leads us to more clarity, always. Confusion, no good comes from that. So thank you. Any last thoughts, Siobhan?
Just, I guess a mantra for myself is that I am enough just as I am.
Yeah, and
I can write it on a sticky note and put it on the wall and put it in the bathroom and put it on the mirror.
Yeah.
So that when I start feeling overwhelmed, it's there.
Yeah, because we all, at the core wound of all of us is I am not enough. And then I have to prove myself. And then I get caught in the identity and the pride, and I deserve more than this, and I should be making more money than this. This is bullshit. But what if this was all part of leading into the letting go of that job to move into that job? But the only way we move from one thing to the other is 1 degree at a time.
Mm-hmm.
You just want to titrate really fast. You just want to like blow the balloon up. And, you know, when we get out of our own way, it can happen really fast. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Crystal.
Wow. Let's all take a deep breath. Yeah, that was really good. Like whether you were in the love seat today, which that was only Siobhan, or you were listening, didn't something shift if you let yourself just close your eyes and just drop down into your own heart? Where are you stepping into? What are you releasing? What power are you finally claiming for yourself in your own acceptance? You don't have to do this alone. If today's conversation landed for you, share it with another woman who needs to hear it. Make sure you're subscribed because next week we're going even deeper. And if you're ready to take this work to the next level, really, I would love for you to check out the SWAT Institute, www.SWAT. We are the new Special Weapons and Tactical, and we're going to heal this world one woman at a time. www.swatinstitute.com. We have a master empowerment coach certification beginning that is body, mind, spirit, foundation, activation, legacy. It is the real deal. And I would love to spend the next 50 weeks with you because we do every single week and we stay at this thing year after year. And I would love to be able to support you because here's the truth. This is your time. This is your season. This is your moment to rise. Until next time, be simply woman.
1, 2, 3, 4.
That's it for today's episode of the Simply Woman podcast. If something shifted for you today, don't stop here. Take the next step. If you want to be coached live on the show, join us inside the Simply Woman podcast studio. Sign up now at www.swatinstitute.com/podcast-join-live. Now make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you're ready to go even deeper, check out the Master Empowerment Coach Certification because the world needs more women leading the way. And now I leave you with just one question. What would courage have you do?